Dando Amor is giving love. Too often in the world today, so many children are given nothing. The Dando Amor home in Ecuador provides a place of love to foster young boys as they become young men. In the country of Ecuador, over a quarter of the population lives in poverty, and many of those are families trying to support children. In the most unthinkable of circumstances, many parents have turned their backs on their children. A horrifying trend of abandonment is increasing in the small country, fueling an increase of children working as drug mules or being forced into the illegal sex trade. It is in the face of this need that Travis Gugelman and Lori Nordstrom have founded a home for boys to escape these perils and give them the tools to become productive members of society.
Dando Amor is an organization that was started by Lori Nordstrom and my wife and I. My first time I came to a third world country was on a photography assignment, and I was assigned to go and photograph an orphanage that was completely funded by an American organization. As I was at the airport getting ready to leave, the man who ran the organization called me and said, "I want to make sure that you only photograph the happy and the smiley, and you really show how wonderful this orphanage is." And I was a little bit shocked because I didn't think that's what I would find. But sure enough, when I got to that orphanage, I was shocked. The children had food, they had shelter, they had education, and it was because they were backed by an organization who cared and who got them those things. We realized that would not be the norm in other orphanages. And as we went inside other orphanages, we were horrified when we saw there were so many children in so many places that were suffering.
Moved by the need and motivated by the potential to help these children in a real way, Travis returned to the US from Ecuador. He immediately began working to recruit friends to help him on his personal mission. One of the first to respond was Lori Nordstrom.
He came here to Ecuador to photograph for another orphanage service and then flew right in to a convention where we were both speaking. And we were there with a group, and he was just on fire about his trip to Ecuador and told us all about the orphanages that he had seen and the kids that he had seen, and really just implored us, you've got to come back with me, let's go and take another trip. So a few months later, and this was late 2009, we all came to Ecuador. There was a group of about 6 of us, and we came, spent the week, visited probably 20 different orphanages, and just really literally fell in love with the kids. And so really on that very first trip, the idea and the concept of Dando Amor, and even the name Dando Amor, which means giving love, all of that was born on that first trip.
And while the photographers were inspired by the little lives they encountered, they were overwhelmed with the powerful sadness, need, and abuses suffered.
On our very first trip to Ecuador, we started hearing some of the stories of the children in the orphanage that we were serving. Almost 100% of these kids have been abused in some way. They live with guilt, they live with horror, they live with fear. There's so many children that think that this is normal. You really have to wonder what goes through these kids' minds. Who do I trust? Who do I believe in?
They go through some remorse, thinking they're not worth anything, that there's nobody that really loves them. And I truly believe that a child will do to society what society has done to them.
The mission was made crystal clear. These children needed a way to stop the cycle of abuse and build a positive life in a safe environment away from the complex and dangerous ways of street life. The question was, how to be a strong influence in the kids' lives and provide them with a sense of stability. There was no other way to combat this problem but by becoming directly and permanently involved.
In 2013, we decided that it was time for us to start our own orphanage. There are orphanages everywhere, but the problem that happens is once they hit puberty, they are sent on to the next level.
And most orphanages will kick a child out when they turn sometimes 16, but for sure by the time a child is 18, they've kicked them out of the orphanage.
And the next level of care for these boys is a men's home. And in these men's homes, we've got drug addicts and we've got sex offenders. They're rehabilitation centers.
And I think sometimes when we think of orphanages or when we think of orphans, we think of small children, little children who don't have anything, or maybe children in their cribs. But there's so many orphans throughout the world that are 10, 11, 12, and even so many more that are 13, 14, 15. These children have been stuck inside the system. And they've been bounced around from orphanage to orphanage. And the fact that they weren't adopted isn't because there was something wrong with them. It's because there was no organization there to fight for them. Dando Amor is an organization that is there to fight for these children that have never had anyone there to fight for them.
We realized right away that there was a huge need for this age group, and we really wanted to work within the system here in Ecuador to be able to help these teenage boys.
Dando Amor helps to combat the problems facing these boys by instilling them with values that will help them develop a moral compass for life. They learn decision-making and life skills under the care and tutelage of house parents who act as real parents, and through many outings that provide developmental opportunities.
When we started Dando Amor, we knew that there were 5 values that were very important to us. The first one was faith. We are not associated with any certain religion, but we did want to make sure that each one of the boys just really cared about something that was bigger than them. Another value that was very important to us is service, and that's how Dando Amor was established. We wanted to be able to give back. We wanted to do something better and enrich these lives, and we wanted to help the boys see that no matter what situation they're in or what situation they've been in, wherever they've come from, there's always someone else that's less fortunate than they are.
Citizens of Ecuador are some of the poorest in all of South America, living in an economy and neighborhoods torn between the drug trade and government corruption. Dando Amor's goal is to help all children, even those who are not under their direct care. They organize several trips a year into the poorest communities in the mountains and along the shorelines of Ecuador. The boys living in the Dando Amor orphanage pay forward some of the blessings they have experienced in their own lives by delivering care packages to those in need.
¿Y cuántos chicos tienen por aquí?
Aquí nietos son 6.
6.
Poor areas of Ecuador are divided along the mountainous regions of the interior and scattered along the shoreline. Dando serves both of these communities. The sincere hope is that these boys will take these experiences into their adult lives and use them to become respected members of society. Yes, their lives are difficult, but after a day out, the boys get to return to the house with all of its amenities, while the families they helped have nothing but the solace that, at least for a few days, they do not need to worry about their next meal.
The next value for us as an organization is future. We really want to instill in these boys that they can change their future. They don't have to stay where they are. They don't have to stay within their circumstances. They can be more. They can dream more. But also teaching them what family means. We have a set of parents, our house parents, that really do treat them as their own children. They have responsibilities and chores, teaching them that the cycle of abuse stops. The next value is education.
Many kids throughout the world aren't adoptable, and if they're not going to be able to be adopted, then Dando Amor wants to do the best that we can to make these children leaders in their country. And we can do that through several different ways, but I believe the number one way to empower a child is through education. There are so many things that hold a child back from being able to be educated. A lot of times it's as small as just a school uniform, the pencils, the backpacks, all of those things that seem so small but are keeping children out of the schools. At the Dando Amor house in Ecuador, we make sure that these children get the education that they need. And I don't necessarily think it's the poverty that we're trying to fix, but we want to give these children the opportunity that if they want something in life, that there is somebody there that will say, hey, I'll put my arm around you and I'll help you.
As Travis and I first started kind of conceptualizing how we would make this all work, we decided that our voice was with our photographer community. And what we found when we got here was that while we were all photographers and we were shooting the whole entire time we were here, which is of course a lot of fun for us as photographers, but really what it came down to was the people that were here just wanted to give. And really, when you get here, you're in Ecuador and you meet these children, you fall in love with them, and there's just no way around it. And as people started hearing about it, those groups grew into not just photographers. The word is starting to spread, and of course, the more different kinds of people that we get here, the more people are excited and the more reach that we do have.
The costs are high to run a home like this, that we have a place that is safe for them, and we can't do it alone. And the way you can join with us is, one, through becoming a monthly donor, being able to support Dando Amor from home. Another is you can join us on a trip. You can come and experience and see where your dollars are being spent.
Every dollar that comes in with fundraising goes straight back into the kids and to the homes. We've encouraged each person who comes along with us on a trip to raise $2,000, and we help them with that.
A lot of times people think, I want to send something to the kids. And although as wonderful as that is, the cheapest and easiest thing for us to transfer over here is money. We can buy the things that they need here in this country. We don't have to ship them in, and actually buying them here is great because it helps boost the local economy. The best way you can help Dando Amor is open up your hearts and your wallets and making a donation that we can guarantee you will make a difference in these children's lives.
We are helping these kids change their lives and supporting their dreams. But Dando Amor has never done it alone. The support of big-hearted individuals who believe in these children's potential has always been at the center of our ability to provide this vital work in Ecuador.
For more information about coming on a Dando Amor trip or how you can make a donation, please visit us online at givinglove.org.
Thank you!
Thank you!